I would maybe get 5 or 6 people on, and I'm like, okay, I'm just an old lady. Nobody wants to watch me. And then Facebook started getting kind of weird. Like, you always get these like weird people trying to be your friends, or they want to buy things, but not through your website. And I'm like, I've had enough of Facebook. So I'm like, well, I'll put a little video up on YouTube. So I
Yep.
did. And, I had a few views, but nothing much. And then, of course, I follow quite a few different resin artists and painting artists. And I was like, maybe I'll get back into resin. I had tried it like 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
And I didn't know a whole lot about it. So my pieces weren't coming out the greatest. So I said, all right, I'm going to get back into this, but I'm going to try to give it my all. I'll put maybe 1 or 2 videos a week is what my thought was when I started.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I went from 10 subscribers to over, enough from when I started. I believe it was the end of March, beginning of April of last year. And in the second week of July, I monetized.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, I think this is going to maybe work. So then I started trying to, put something out every day. And wow, that's a lot of work when you commit to that.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize. I figured, I'll pour something in the morning and then I'll unmold it. And, but it's all the other stuff that goes with it. It's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. We've just had a quick question come through from Miz. I've seen in the comments if you can remove sound in YouTube Studio, and there is a way to do it because I had a copyrighted song that I didn't know was copyrighted, and I went into Studio and I selected the video, and it allowed me to remove all audio. But then you need to upload the video again or upload new audio. So that's just an answer to Miz. Sorry, I just saw the question pop up.
Oh, okay.
But yes, so you started growing pretty quickly then.
I did. Yeah. And then it seemed like it kind of like slowed down a little bit. And I'm like, oh, maybe I hit my peak.
Yeah.
But it's different times I'll grow a little bit quicker. Other times it's a little slower. But I think I've been pretty consistent on my growth, which is what I'm hoping for, is to keep growing.
As long as you're consistent, I think you will grow.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest key, I think, is it's that consistency. And again, I had a quick look at your channel as well earlier on. And I think you've got 401 videos now, which is amazing.
Yeah, I'm getting up there. Yeah.
Do you ever run out of ideas?
Yes. And I'm kind of there now.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's just the stress, because I know I have so much house stuff to do, as well as to try to create something. But when I run out of like new molds, I'm like, okay, now what do I do?
Yeah. Get on Temu.
It's like, I'm like, okay, I just bought a bunch and I've gone through just about all of those. And now I'm like, crap, now I'm going to have to revisit my old molds.
Yeah. But that's sometimes really fun. I've got some molds that I haven't used, must be in 6 months, in like a bottom drawer. And I purposely want to revisit those before I do my new molds and see what I can do with them now.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, so tell me about that first pour then. What did you do with that first pour? Was it a case of, did you get a kit? Did you watch a video and say, I want to try that technique? Or what did you do?
I don't even remember what my first one was.
Oh, you've got to have kept your first pour.
Oh, it's around here someplace, I'm sure. Yeah. But yeah, I don't even remember what it was. Because I didn't think it was going to like do anything. So I might have even been a set of coasters. I don't know. That's usually like what everybody starts with.
Yeah. Coasters or jewelry normally, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely. But no, your channel as well. Talk to me, because you've got 2 different channels, if I'm right, haven't you?
Yes. And I've been ignoring my second one.
What is the second one?
It is my painting channel.
Okay.
Which originally, if you look back through the very first videos, there were a few painting videos.
Yeah.
And then I started I wasn't getting a lot from that. So I tried the resin and I was like, okay, I'm getting more with the resin. And then I threw in a few painting ones. And then, I had a few people say, well, we're not into painting. So, I'm like, okay, well, I'm trying to please everybody, but you're never going to do that. So I created a second channel thinking, okay, I'll just do the both. Well, I just don't have time for the second channel.
Yeah.
So now I'm kicking myself and saying, should I just have kept it on this channel? And if they don't want to watch the painting ones, they don't have to.
Well, another thought on that is because your channel name doesn't say it's just all about resin to me. So it's open to interpretation. So what I would do, what you could do is download all of your painting videos from your other channel, upload them to this channel and put them in a separate playlist.
Okay, yeah, that's an idea.
And then that way you would be getting the views from both on one channel. And you could just explain to people in a quick video, look, I love doing both. So all of your resin ones are going to go in a resin playlist and all of your acrylic pouring ones can go to a pouring playlist. And then people can choose which ones to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, because I have a few of the pour ones, but my main passion is oil paintings.
Oh, wow.
Like doing scenes and stuff like that. So that's my passion. And I only picked that up at 59 years old.
Yeah.
I was like, we went into lockdown and I'm like, I got to find something to do. We can't go anywhere. Nobody comes over. So I went and got some supplies and who knew I could paint.
Yeah. And I think, I always try and look for the positives in things. And obviously it was a massive tragedy with COVID and everything like that. And everybody having to stay from home and everything what happened. But if you look for the positives, there's so many people that I think came into the crafting world at that time and found a new skill or a new art form just to keep themselves entertained to a certain extent.
Exactly.
And Lisa's saying in chat, Lisa Crow is saying, you do whatever you want. It's your show. Fair enough.
Sure. Yeah.
But that's also the thing. Yeah, I think with YouTube, you've just got to realize you're never going to please everyone.
Yeah.
There's always going to be somebody that either doesn't resonate with you. Excuse the pun. There's going to be somebody that just doesn't click, and because of that, I don't think you'll ever please everyone. It's like I do a lot of blooms and I get comments from some people saying that they get bored of blooms. I'm going to keep doing them because I enjoy them. And essentially, I think with YouTube, you've got to do what you enjoy, because if you're not enjoying it, I think it comes across on the video.
Yes. Yeah. And I like to break things up because if not, I get bored.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm always doing the same thing and then I get bored and I'm like, ugh. So I'd like to change it up.
Yeah. I couldn't sleep last night for 2 hours because I had an idea in my head. And I want to do some freeform resin, as in I want to do a large picture on a wall. And I don't know why it just popped into my head randomly. And I want to do like a detailed sort of large, probably twice the size of an A3 picture of like a pond with the realistic sort of pond life in the pond with some frogs, some lily pads and some freeform sort of lotus flowers. So I need to figuring out how I'm going to make it now. It's there. It's in my head.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing. I think creative people, sometimes you just get an idea in your head and then it just stays there until you do it.
Yeah. But it hampers your other, anything else you're doing until you try to figure that out.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to do something similar. I also, thanks to Claire on Claire's Crafty Corner.
Yeah.
She had done this video on this new Powertex that she had gone to a class.
I saw that. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat. So I watched the video and I'm like, okay, I'm going to look. Can we get that in the States? And come to find out, the US distributor is like 30 minutes from where I live.
Oh, wow.
So I can go pick it up.
Yeah.
So I hemmed and hawed, and I must have watched her video like 3 times. And I said, you know what? I'm going to buy me a small kit and I'm going to try a small piece.
Yeah.
So I went to the Dollar Tree and I got a vase for $1.25. I bought this little kit and I made a vase.
Okay.
And I did it live for the first time. It's on my channel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying it. It's messy. I love it. So I am obsessed with it.
Right.
I am obsessed. So now
Let's have a look then. I thought you'd have a piece.
this
Oh,
is
wow.
my fairy houses.
That is amazing.
And it's all cardboard and material. And this is just tin foil.
Yeah.
8.
That looks amazing.
So I done that. And then I had seen this somewhere else and they used something else, but I used the transparent medium from Powertex, and I made this little plant pot out of
Denim
my
short.
daughter's friend's little girl's shorts.
That is amazing.
So I'm obsessed. And they also have you can make like powders, like a clay and stuff.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to paint an acrylic painting with the ocean, but I want to use this medium to bring my waves 3D, like bring it out of the painting. So that's going to be a video that's going to be coming up pretty soon.
That'll look. I mean, those pieces there, that fairy house, that looks better than my wood carved ones that I do. You know, the detail you've got there, it looks stunning. Yeah, I mean, I've got. This is probably my most detailed one, which is a wood carved one.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, with a little bear that I just put in there.
But it must be harder to get that little.
That took 4 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you've got to take a piece away at a time, but
these take me about 3 days to do.
Yeah, but I love the effect. It looks stunning.
So it's old t-shirts. It's some sort of like paper, mulberry paper, paper leaves, moss, rocks.
But no, it's stunning. That it looks like it looks like a wood carving to me.
It does, and it's hard. And once like if you cure it for 2 weeks, it will be completely waterproof.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hang it in my tree. So I had made that. And I also have some gnome doors that I made. I have one that's not quite done. Let me grab it.
And just while she's grabbing that, everyone, I've had a message said that there's a bit of buffering issues for some people. Unfortunately, I can't do anything about that at the minute. I know YouTube's having some issues, though, at the minute with comments showing and things like that on people's studios. So it might be something to do with that. So just bear with us. Hopefully it'll fix itself if you're having those buffering issues. Sorry about that, Michelle.
No, that's okay. So this is one of the doors that I've done.
Oh, wow.
I haven't painted it yet.
Yeah.
But I made the handle this time out of just a wire and tin foil with cloth over it.
Yeah.
I make my door knockers with the mix to mold.
Yeah.
So I make the little thing and then I put the rope so it looks like a door knocker.
Yeah.
I've since started making my own leaves in the mix to mold. And what we do, once they're all painted, I put a hook on the back and you put it on your tree.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's a little gnome home. And I got little gnomes down on the ground. And I make 2 windows to go with it as a set.
Wow.
So
no, that's really cool. I love that. And you know what? It's a different medium as well to try and experiment with.
It is. And it's fun and it's somewhat quick.
Yeah.
But
messy from what I've seen.
Very messy, but that's what I like about it.
Yeah, that's always the best bit.
And it's non-toxic. So, even kids can do it. And that's what I like about it.
Lulu was asking if maybe you could put fairy lights in them as well.
I am going to do one with a jar that's going to have a candle in it.
Yeah.
It has a cover. I've already bought the jar. It's like a square, like you would put, I don't know, macaroni or something in. And I'm going to tape where I want, like my windows and my doors.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it. And the cover is a screw top. So then I can build off of that.
Yeah.
So that the roof will be the part that you open if you want to, you know, put your light on. So
That
what
sounds
I'm
really
going to
cool.
is put
Is
like,
Powertex safe to use with candles though? I don't know. I don't know anything about it because I know resin you shouldn't really use heat, but
right. I would use the battery operated ones.
yeah.
And
Okay.
because it's like going to be like a fairy house, what I was thinking is if you do the 6 hour, like whatever time you turn it on, it will run for 6 hours
Yeah.
and then shut off. But the next day at that time, it will come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to put in there. So like at night, you know, especially if you have little kids, oh, the fairy's home. Look,
Yeah.
the
It'd be
lights are
magical.
on, you know.
Well, my youngest has just lost 3 teeth at the front, bless her. So she's got literally no teeth at the front. So I could say that's where the tooth fairy lives.
Yes, absolutely.
I have kept the teeth though. They're going in resin at some point.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I never thought of that.
I just think that'll preserve it forever.
Yes, absolutely. And then she'll have it forever.
And then when she's 18 and brings a boyfriend home or something, I can embarrass her and say, this is her tooth from when she was 6. And her dad kept it. But yeah, it'll be quite fun. But talk to me more about, obviously, the channel. So you've had nearly 320,000 views.
Wow.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Most people don't look at that because you need to push an extra button to go down and see your views. But it always amazes me that to think that you've had nearly 320,000 people view your videos, really, it is amazing. And again, most of us, when we're just starting out, and there's a lot of people on this channel as well, where they're just starting out, they think that they'll never get there. But it's just about being consistent. Even if you can only do one video a month, be consistent with that. If you can do one a week, great. If you want to do more, do more. But as long as you're consistent, what tends to happen, I think, is your viewers get to know what time your videos start coming out. You start to get a few more views, then they gain traction. And I think that's the thing. But I would also say, if you're just starting out, think about your channel name as well, because I think that's where I've kind of struggled a bit. And this is where I started as a wood carving channel, and now it's more resin related. So because it's called Carving and Epoxy, I think the carving community that were part of it at the start feel a bit alienated, and YouTube doesn't see it as a resin channel now. So again, it's do I rebrand now, or do I leave things as they are? Now I've got a few thousand subscribers that seem to know my channel now.
Right. Because I've actually had a few different names.
Okay.
Before I started, first I was Shell's Creations.
Yeah.
And I was just, you know, I was making things at home and just going to craft fairs.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, because that, I don't know, that doesn't sound good. And then when I picked up painting, it was Relax and Paint.
Yeah.
But I only picked the name because I wanted to make a Facebook page and I needed a name.
Yeah.
And I couldn't think of anything catchy. So after I had that for a while, I started really thinking about it. And I did a lot of, I mean, I've done over probably 400 paintings.
Yeah. Wow.
And so my husband bought me a trailer that we haul behind the vehicle.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need something can incorporate anything.
Yeah.
So I picked a few names. I put it on my Facebook channel and I let people vote. And this was the one that they picked. So that's what I went with. Easel Does It Studio.
Well, that's the thing. It's your channel. If it works, it works. I'm just thinking that sometimes it takes YouTube a while to pick up on what you do on a channel. I think that's where it sometimes confuses algorithms. But then again, I've seen other channels where they've got a name that's nothing to do with resin and they've blown up. So yeah, I can never work out the algorithms.
Yeah. And I've found that, like, when I make my description, I make sure that I put, like, if I'm doing mixed to mold, I'll say, you know, creating a jar with mixed to mold plus more, or resin, you know, because I think if you don't put that resin, the ones that I haven't really put that in the title, I don't get as many views.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. Also, just quickly, because Mary's just put in comments, Mary from Resin Me Up, she's just hit 500k views today. So
Holy
congrats.
congrats.
500,000.
Wow.
So that is amazing.
Yeah. The only time I had, like when you go into your studio at the top, one time I went in and I had, I think it was 250,000 views.
Wow.
And it was like a little, like
A little
fireworks.
pop-up.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. So I called my, my daughter right away, but I haven't looked at it since then. I figured, oh, when I read a milestone, it'll pop up.
Well, they do, but I don't know how they set those milestones either. I think I got an alert at 150,000 views, then another one at 200,000 views, and then I don't know when the next one comes, so we'll see.
Yeah.
So what's your sort of favorite technique with resin? Have you got a favorite thing that you like to go to?
I like to embed things in it.
Okay.
Like flowers. I love doing that. Or like with the clocks, doing the steampunk with the gears.
Yeah.
I like doing that. I think that is my favorite thing to do.
You're going to love my summer collaboration video that I'm doing. So I don't know if you know Claire from Claire's Crafted Corner. She's doing a summer collaboration.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to love it, is all I'll say. I don't want to spoil the surprise people, but I've done exactly what you've just described there with a little bit of a twist as well. So I think you'll love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
When is that? Because I forgot.
You need to get the videos to Claire by the 13th of June. So that's Friday, I think. And then I think it's Saturday it goes live. But if one of the mods in chat knows and I'm incorrect, please correct me.
Yeah, because let me know, because I guess I'm going to have to stay up late tonight and get something done so I can get it over there to her.
But you know what? I was pouring at like 11 o'clock last night before I got into bed just to make sure that I had something done. And that's the thing. You go crazy, don't you, with your different schedule? Yes, Luli, you've had a sneak peek. Don't tell everyone. But yeah, it's also for my little girl, so I'm really happy with it.
Cool.
So and I think, do you know what, when you do pieces for your children or something like that, it means something because you're hoping that they're going to love it as much as you and they're going to treasure it. So there we go. Yes, it is this coming Saturday, Lula's saying, and videos by the 13th, which is the Friday.
Okay.
I don't believe they have to have anything but summer collaboration either on the thumbnail. So as long as you put summer collaboration, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
So, and it can be anything summer related. And again, I don't know if you ever do the Froggy Fridays.
I haven't joined in on that yet.
Okay. There's a Friday the 13th one this Friday. So it's going to be scary frogs, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So I don't know if I want to make a scary frog, though. I like them not being scary.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So
although I can't wait for the like for Halloween to get here.
Yeah.
Because with this Powertex stuff is going to be
you're going to be able to do
Halloween
amazing. Yeah. And again with that Powertex, I bet you could do almost sculptures. You could do larger sculptures, I bet, with it.
You can. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I haven't tried making I have made 2 statues.
Yeah.
I buy the ceramic head bust, and then I form all the rest with like tin foil and then tape, and then I add the fabric over it. And I do have a video on my channel showing that, but my angle wasn't good because doing this, you can't do it from overhead like you do for resin. So I have to remember, if I'm doing a video with this, that I have to put my camera so it's getting that side view.
Yeah.
Because, it's a lot of 3D. You have to constantly move your project. So when I'm doing it overhead, they miss a lot of it. So
that's where I struggled with my wood carving videos as well, because 1 minute I'm using a chainsaw, next I'm using an angle grinder, next I'm using some fine detail, and it's hard to get the right angles, and you just get sawdust everywhere, which is mainly what people see. So
yeah.
But people still like it, people still seem to like it. So I'm hoping the weather's going to start getting better in the UK and I can start doing a few of those as well, because I really love mixing mediums. And I've seen somebody recommended to me the other week to look at is it BM Sculptures, I think, on YouTube, and he makes these giant sculptures out of wood and resin together and then carves them, and they look stunning. So I have to have a go at it, but on a much smaller scale, because I can't afford $1,000 worth of resin if it goes wrong.
Yeah.
So,
Ben's Works. I don't know if you've seen his channel.
In Australia,
Yeah. But he does like the dragon eggs with like a piece of wood.
I've seen those,
and he and then he pours the resin and then he shapes it, and I mean, I love those, but yeah, I don't have those type of tools, so.
I don't have a lathe, unfortunately. I don't have room or money for a lathe yet, but there's still ways that you could probably incorporate it in an egg mold.
Probably, yes.
So I have thought about that.
Getting your wood small enough where you could
just put it in the top with a bit of resin. And again, I've been experimenting recently with tiny Turner pigments. I don't know if you've seen any of those.
I have. I want to try them. I haven't tried them yet, but I do want to try those.
They are amazing. They're expensive, but they're amazing. Yeah. But apparently you can use them on wood as well as resin. So that's something that I really want to experiment with, is brushing them onto wood and seeing if you get the same metallic effects.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. So is there a technique out there what you haven't done yet that you want to learn or you want to do?
Yes, the Larimar. I have not attempted yet. I'm seeing people struggling, trying to
Larry fail.
And I am like, I am going to try it, but yeah, that's one.
I think it's all about the resin, and I've tried it 6 times so far, and I'm one of those people. I don't think sensibly. I need to change the resin because the one I use is quite a medium thick one, and I don't think it gives it enough time before it starts setting up to create that effect. So I'm going to change my resin to, next time I do a Larimar, I'm going to get a 2-to-1 resin, which isn't a deep pour, but it's a thinner resin.
Yep.
But me and Lula did a Larimar off the other week where we both tried the Larimar, and neither of us got the Larimar, but we both got some beautiful Larry Fail effect coasters. So
yeah, I saw those ones. They were beautiful.
Yeah. Have you been doing, apart from the decorating then, is there any pieces that you've been pouring this week?
No, I am that far behind.
Okay. Well, it is what it is, you can only do what you can do.
Like yesterday I came down and I did like a UV resin project. So I had something for last night and it was very quick. And I might end up doing a live tonight.
Okay.
Doing something just because I don't have anything.
Yeah.
But when we get done this, I am going to pour something. I don't know what yet, but so I have something for tomorrow. Yeah.
Well, again, it doesn't have to be big, does it? You can pour something small and do a different technique. That's what I love about UV. And I'm only a recent convert to UV resin because I didn't used to like it because it never seemed to cure properly until I upgraded my lamp, and now it cures every time.
Yeah.
So again, if anyone's struggling with that's watching this back, it could be if you're using one of those cheap Now lamps from Temu, they're not very powerful.
No. And they also will wear out over time. So if it's, if it's been working fine and all of a sudden it's not, it's probably time to upgrade your lamp.
Yeah. Or the bulbs have gone or whatever. So,
yeah.
So when you first started, I'm curious, who were you inspired by as resin artists?
Michelle with Glitz and Glitter. She was one that was like, oh my God, she's amazing.
Yeah.
And then I started watching Sheila from Reptiles and Resin. Yeah. And then I just, from there I started picking up a few more. And now I have so many that I can't follow all of them every video. So I kind of go through and, to pick the ones that I think I would be more interested in. And
well, yeah, and you know what? Interestingly, all of those 3 have all been on the show.
I know. I've seen them.
What a coincidence! But no, Lisa's put an interesting comment up where basically everybody should remember what we do on YouTube is a courtesy, not an obligation. Which I agree with. It's right. Do what you can when you can have fun doing it, and share it with the world. You know, that's what it's all about. Don't feel pressured into it. And that's the problem. Sometimes you can feel like, I might have a supplier send me a mold or something, and I feel guilty if I don't do a video on it that month. But if I've already done my scheduled videos ahead, then it's going to have to wait till next month. And I think that's okay, because you can't always please everybody, and you need to have a life outside of YouTube sometimes, you know, and we can't all live on YouTube 24/7. And there's been a few comments that I've been talking to people in the community over the last week where they're like, you can't watch every video. Nobody can. And I think that's the hard thing for me, because I genuinely love everybody in this community, and I wish I could watch every single video, but there's not enough hours in the day. And that's the thing. There's thousands of artists now. It's amazing.
Yeah. And
Lula's saying she doesn't have a life in comments.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would love to watch everyone. I'm still trying to get caught up on your lives. Yeah. Because usually when you're doing the live is when I'm in my studio making something. Yeah. So unless I think ahead of time, like, you know, on Monday, okay, do it earlier so that you can, you know, catch the live, then I always have to go back and watch the replay.
That's the beauty of them. They're always on playlists, so people can watch them whenever they want. And that's why I think it's good to have playlists as well. But Golden Spudlet is saying you need to try those little mirror bits in resin she watched last night.
Yeah, the ones that I tried on one of my pieces, and I was like, no, it doesn't look good. But yeah, they're just
okay.
They're like little tiny stickers. Yeah. So you can do the whole strip, or you can, you know, cut one off. So, you know, I think I'll do that in my next video. I'll stick it in something, like maybe like a cover to a box or something.
Looks like a disco ball to me when you showed me.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they called them, like disco mirror pieces.
Yeah. It might be called in like a sphere mold, and then you could have your own little glitter ball. So what's the plan now for the channel? What do you want to? Have you got a goal where you want to get to? Are you monetized now, or?
Yes, I'm monetized.
Oh yeah, sorry, you said that earlier on. I was paying attention. So have you got a goal where you want to get it to?
I'd like to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year. That's my this year's goal.
Okay.
But I don't know if it'll happen. I just hit 3,000, so.
Well, there's still 6 months of the year, and the end of the year, from what I understand on YouTube, is busier than the start for some reason. I think it's colder weather and more people are at home watching TV.
Oh, that could be, yeah. That makes sense.
So, and because that's what I've seen. It's like as well with the monetization. I watched a few videos last month on it, and apparently November and December are usually your best months if you've got monetized videos, because that's where advertisers have got more of a budget to spend, and they want to get people ordering stuff for Christmas.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So, but I've not been through that yet. My first month of being monetized was last December, actually. So I went through 1 December and I had a great month, and I was like, oh, this is okay. And then January, I got a third of the views, and I was like, what have I done wrong? Yeah. January, I think it was January and February was way down for me as far as views. Yeah. Oh, we've got Carla as well saying that she's glad she's finally caught alive as well. It's great to see creators sharing knowledge. You know, that's what it's all about, guys. And if you've got questions in chat, just put them in chat. You know, it'd be great to answer any questions you've got. You can get my view on it. You can get Michelle's view on it as well. And sometimes they might be different. Who knows? And we've got 47 in this live already, and it's only been going half an hour. So, oh wow, you've got fans out there, definitely. Cool. Well, thank you guys. I so appreciate you guys. I really, really do. So, I mean, I just wanted to do something as a bit of an example as well, just to show people if it's okay with you. So I've been pouring blooms this week because I was part of Mary's auction. Mary from Res Me Up, she did an auction for her granddaughter Riley to try and raise some money. And I had a silly Cowboys hat on and got involved and auctioned off some of my pieces. And one of them turned out amazing, which was the one for Laura in the end, which was black and white. And red.
Actually watched that video. That was amazing.
But I wanted to show you something else because they don't always go to plan. That one didn't come out the way I wanted. This one didn't come out the way that I wanted either. It was okay, but not what I wanted.
Yeah.
And this one was a bit heavy. So I'm still doing Renee's because I'm not sending her one until it's perfect. So with blooms, do not get disheartened. You won't get a perfect bloom every time. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter how often you do them. You will get stuff go wrong. And I think that's where if you're buying a coaster off somebody as well, and you think, oh, 30 quid's expensive for a coaster, think of how many it's taken them to get the perfect result as well sometimes.
Exactly.
I've not sold any yet, apart from on that auction, which was interesting. I've got more of my pieces in the States than I've got in the UK. So, but again, that's the great thing with YouTube. We're global now. And I think there's every channel has viewers now from the world. And I think that's one of the amazing things. If it wasn't for postage, that would be amazing.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's what kills us is the postage.
Yeah, well, I'd just sending a coaster to the States, it was costing me £12 for a single coaster. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, Mary was saying it was hilarious. You all missed it. I know it's on her channel, so if you want to see me dressed up as a Texan cowboy, you can go have a look on there.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to go watch the replay on it.
Yeah. So again, going back to your channel, then have you got a particular schedule that you try and stick to? Is it 2 videos a week, or how do you do it?
I try to do one a day.
Okay. Wow.
That's what I've been doing up until like when I have something major going on in the house.
Yeah.
Then it throws me off.
Yeah.
You know, so I've got to get ahead. For a while, I was like 3 days ahead. And then I was like, oh, well, I've got a few ahead. I can take today and do this in the house. And the next thing you know, now I'm back.
Then you're caught up and you're behind. Yeah, I know that bit. I always try and be a month ahead on my videos. So because I do 2 main videos a week and a live, sometimes I'll do a Froggy Friday as well and throw that in there as well if I've got time. But I always want to stick to that 2 videos and a live. So I try and get a month ahead. And what I had to do was book time off work to get back ahead because I don't want to get to a point where I'm only a week ahead again, because I don't know why, it just stresses me out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's why like I'm having a hard time coming up with something to do, because now I'm stressed. Like I know I need to get something out, you know, and then I'm like, okay, even if I do something little is better than nothing.
Yeah.
You know, because some people like the short little videos and others like the longer videos. So I try to, you know, interchange them. So there's a little bit for everybody. But
well, one of my best performing videos consistently every month, because it must be because it's a search term, it's just a keyring, a UV keyring video, a 10-minute, how to make this bear with a heart in 10 minutes. And that's it. That gets consistent views almost every month. And the rest of my videos don't really. So I don't know. I suppose it's one of the only ones that gets searched.
Yeah. Huh.
Because that's something I need to get better with for views. It's actually what people search for.
Sometimes, like when you're uploading your videos in YouTube, it will go up quick. And then I've had other ones that take a day and a half. And I'm like, what is going on? I need this up for tonight. And it's not moving.
Yeah. And I think that also depends how many people do it at once. So again, I think how quickly it uploads and things like that. But I always try and set that if I upload a video, I'll always try and set it for the next day. So it gives it time to get it up to what, I don't know if it's 4K or whatever they call it on YouTube. Yeah. But I think that also gives the algorithm time to know what audience to push it out to.
Yeah.
I think if you do it on the same day, it doesn't always. So I don't know. Jacob's asking, what's that piece behind you? I think he's on about the that one again. Yeah,
right here. This is a fairy house that is made with Powertex.
There we go,
And it has
Jacob.
a little swing that's attached. And I do have a couple of videos on my channel with the Powertex. They're not the best videos, but I'm getting better. So
Yeah.
thank you.
But no, it's fun to play with new things, you know, and I think it's like I recently started experimenting with things like EcoPore, which I think is a bit like your, is it mixer mold you call it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've recently started playing with that and mixing it with like deep cure resin, and that creates a whole new texture and things like that. So
I saw that video and I'm like, oh, I want to try it. And I'm like, well, oh my God, you'd have to charge so much for the piece.
Yeah.
Because you've got the resin and the casting powder. I'm like,
but actually you because you're using the casting powder, you use less resin as well.
Yeah, so
it kind of balances out, I think. But the thing I loved about it is it was just an effect that I hadn't seen done before with the deep pour and the eco pour, and it came out with a stronger piece. So sometimes if you just do things in resin, I think they're a little bit flexible. Initially, and I think sometimes if you just do EcoPore or mixer media or whatever it is you use, it's a little bit fragile. And by mixing the two, it was really strong. And I even dropped it on the floor by accident, and it didn't break at all. So I was quite happy with that.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
So, but again, I think that's one of the exciting things about resin. There's always something new, always a new technique, always a new product. And that's why I love watching everybody's videos whenever I can, because you probably get inspired by that. And it's like I watched Wendy's video earlier on from Toonpish, and I could see, I think she was inspired by one of Claire's videos a couple of weeks earlier. And what she came out with was amazing. It was a new type of sort of way to stencil onto a bowl. And I just thought, I need to find a way to try that now. And I think that's the great thing. We all inspire each other.
Yep. Yeah. I don't think I saw that one. I'll have to go back and look.
It came out just before this went live, so it would have been an hour before this went live.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, she did an amazing. I think it's a leopard bowl. It was, and it looks stunning. So go and watch that one if you've not seen it.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Carrie's saying, did you see the? I think she means the Wendy video rather than the windy video. Although it has been windy in the UK as well. But no, I mean, with your community then, when it started growing and things like that, I suppose did it change the way that you started thinking about the channel or doing videos, or have you just been the same since the start all the way through?
Pretty much been the same since the start, other than wanting to get videos out, like every day, just so that I know there's content out there for those that want to, view it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I am me. Like, I have people will say, oh my God, you say so many times. So then I try to be conscious of the next one, but then I'll say, okay.
Yeah.
It's like if they don't do videos, they don't realize when you're sitting there and you're making something and you're trying to explain what you're doing. When I say so or okay, I'm kind of thinking out loud, like, what am I saying next? You know what I mean?
Is a popular one as well when you get I do that.
I was really bad for that. So I try now to don't say anything. If I'm thinking, I just don't say anything, but then you have dead air. So
I think part of the problem is as well, they'll see some videos out there which are perfection. Don't get me wrong, some of them, but what they don't realize is some creators, when they get to that point, they've probably got a team of people. They've got a team of people doing the filming from different angles. They've usually got an editor. They've usually got something on the sound side of things as well. So that's what makes it all perfect. Most of us in the resin community are just one person that does everything. And I think that's what makes it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah. And, when you're my age, I don't know how to edit my videos. I literally had to have my grandson show me. I said, Brayden, what do you use when you make a video? He goes,
yeah,
for you, Meme, CapCut would probably be the easiest.
Yeah.
So I downloaded it. And I said, okay, now come over here and show Meme how to do it. I
Yeah.
said, I just need to put this video with this video and this video. So then he showed me. That's all I do. I don't
Yeah.
edit anything. So what you see is exactly what it is. All I do is put my videos together. That's
Yeah.
all I do, because I am
But-
too dumb to do anymore.
Which is fine, you know, because again, that's the thing. You could spend hours and hours and hours, days editing a video if you really wanted to,
Yeah.
and it might still get the same views, you know. And I think most of us in the resin community, when we do videos, it's to teach. It's to teach people
Thank
how
you,
to do
Amy.
it.
I was just reading Amy's
Yeah,
comment.
that's why I left that one up. I thought you'd like that one. But
Yeah.
most of us in the resin community, we do it to teach and inspire other people. You know, it's not about how perfect we can get it. And we all aspire to that. Don't get me wrong. I've seen some people in the resin community where their editing is spot on. And I'm like, I need to get to that point at some point, but I'm not there yet. I think it's just one of those things where as long as people can hear you, the audio is the most important, I think. And as long as people can see what you're doing, that's all that matters.
Yeah. And, you know, I do it all on my phone.
Yeah.
I have an iPhone and I just do everything on my iPhone, and that's what it is. What you see is what you get. It is me when I'm at home or if I'm on the camera. You know, I'm the same person.
Which is the best way to be, you know, and I think you'll get a community around you that love you for who you are. And it's the same with me. Not everybody likes me out there. I'm okay with that. You know, I am me in my videos, and you either like me or you don't.
Yep.
You know, if you don't like me, don't watch. Simple as that. Watch somebody else. Yep. Tim's asking as well, Base Resonator we've got in chat as well. Did you like the copycat collaboration? He had fun copying your axolotl, I think.
Oh, I have not seen that, Tim. I will go watch that right after this.
Okay. I'm just having a look if we've missed any questions as well. So guys in chat, just to give you a bit of a heads up as well, we've got about 14 minutes left. So if you've got any questions burning away, who would believe we've actually been on for about 50 minutes now, because we didn't go live for the first couple of minutes, but we have done now. So again, technical issues. I'm not perfect with technology either. Petra's saying she spends an awful lot of time editing because otherwise she's got very long videos and she doesn't want that. That's something I'm trying to get better with, because all of my earlier videos were an hour and 10 minutes long. You know, because I just didn't know which bits to take out and which bits people want to see. But then when I shortened them, I had like a 3-hour video that I shortened down to a 30-minute video. People were like, no, I want to see all of the steps. So again, I don't think you can please everybody by doing shorter or longer videos either.
And I try to keep mine between 30 and 60 minutes. I do have some that are like an hour and a half. But I just, if you don't want to watch this part, just fast forward through, Yeah.
And again, some of them I feel like I've over edited them and I feel bad afterwards. So I actually saw you did a lion in the same mode as what I've done a lion in as well. I saw that on one of your videos.
Yes.
And that's going live. I think it's next week for me. But I feel like I've over edited it and I've missed a few steps out by doing that. And it wasn't deliberate. It was to try and reduce a 3-hour video into a 30-minute video. And I feel bad when I do that. So I might just go, do you know what? It takes as long as it takes to show you all of the steps. If you don't like it or you've seen it before, fast forward.
Yeah. And I found that on my longer videos, I actually get more view time.
Yeah.
Than on my short ones.
Well, that's probably because you've got a loyal community around you that want to watch the videos.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the great thing about this resin community. You only need 20, 30 subscribers that are loyal fans that watch your videos, and your channel will grow. You know, you don't need hundreds of thousands. And I see other YouTube sections and niches where it's like daily vlogs. You would need hundreds of thousands of subscribers to get the same watch time as we do with resin.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's a big bonus for those of us in the resin community, because it's almost teaching videos. People expect them to be longer and they'll watch 20, 30-minute videos without any worry. If it's entertainment videos, unless you keep them hooked every 30 seconds, they flick off to another channel.
Right. Yeah.
So
And I have got a lot of new people to resin that, you know, they're like, I like your long videos because I need all the help I can get, you
yeah.
know, and I like doing that. So
Mm.
I'm like, you know, if it's too long, then they can fast forward, but then some will fast forward and then they'll make a comment. And I'm like, well, I said that in the video. I'm thinking to myself, but they missed it because they were fast forwarding it.
Yeah, that
You
does
know,
happen. And
yeah,
and again, people watching this back, if you want to support somebody, you can do that. Of course, people can do that if they, because I know people do that. But if you actually watch it through, or even if you just do it at 2 times speed or 3 times speed, if you want to get through a video faster, it's better than just skipping straight to the end, because that affects your watch time and it affects the algorithm.
right.
Crafting with Carla saying that she missed the video that you posted about Powertex, but she thinks it looks really cool as well. I saw that one pop up.
Oh, thank you.
I think it's amazing. I think they're so cool. I need to get some of that to play with that.
Yes, definitely. And for those of you that did miss it, it says Powertex in the description of the video.
Okay.
So you can go back through my channel and find it.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're not the best. I'm learning how to like re-angle my camera when I'm doing that. So yeah.
Okay. Tim's saying that we're not going to believe this week's frog, so I'm guessing that's going to be a good one. But just to give people a 10-minute warning, any more questions for Michelle or for me, happy to take them now. And again, do me a favor, if you're not subscribed to Michelle's channel, do you want to give your channel a bit of a shout out?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody that hasn't subscribed, I would absolutely love it if you subscribed. And hopefully you can get inspired by something I do or some catastrophe. And those of you that don't know me, I am a klutz. So there's always a spill or an oops or something going catastrophe usually on my videos.
Yeah, that's the best way though. Just show it. You know, we all do that at times, I think. Creations by Duchess is saying that she thinks you're an excellent artist. She's from St. Albans in Maine. Would love to meet up sometime. She wants to do YouTube, but she's a chicken. What's your response?
Just do it. Don't.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, you know, like they don't want to go live. Well, doing a video to me was harder than going live because I had been doing lives for like 5 years. Yeah. So I had to get into a different mindset. But the thing that you got to remember when you're doing a video, it's only your hands that are usually in your video.
Yeah, that's all people say.
The one thing to remember, because it's still fairly new in my brain, is make sure you're always underneath the camera when you're doing something. And
yeah,
even now I'm like, oh, sorry guys, I'm out of frame.
Yeah, I do that.
That is the biggest thing that people will say, you were out of frame, I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. Especially
if I'm painting mica onto a mold or something like that, because I like to get all intricate with it, and I'm like this, and then I'm like, oh, the camera's there.
Yeah, I know, because I pull everything close to me, you know, when I'm doing detail work. So I'm like, so now I'm learning to try to angle my camera so that it shows closer to me when I'm doing those little things. But
yeah, I wouldn't want to show off my beer belly though if I did that. That's the thing. But no, Jacob's put in a question in chat as well. So he's put, odd question I've never asked. What's your favorite resin tool or device that you've purchased?
That would probably be, it would be a toss up between my heat mat and the hand mixers. Yeah. Okay. Although I really love the debubbler. Let's Resin sent me their debubbler. Yeah. I want a pressure pot so bad, but I can't afford it right now. So, you know, I've got that, and it takes a little bit longer, but it works. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm torn between two, actually. So my debubbler, 100%, because
it does get rid of bubbles, you know. There's
Oh,
no
yeah.
no doubt about that. They work.
Yeah.
So, but I'm the same as you. Eventually, I'll probably get a pressure pot at some point, because I've heard they're better because they sort of shrink the bubbles rather than take them out, which is meant to work
Yeah.
better. But also, the other thing for me, because I'm now doing all of my resin indoors, it's my air purifier, and that's
Yes.
just because I feel more comfortable when I finished a resin project, taking the respirator off, knowing that that's gone green, so that the air is safe again before I
Yeah.
take that mask off. And again, I've got a dog, I've got children in the house, so
Yeah.
that's for peace of mind. Probably that. For the art, I would say the debubbler for me.
Yeah, see, I want to get one of those. I do have like an air purifier that I had bought on Amazon when I first started.
Yeah.
Because every now and then I have an allergic reaction
Okay.
to the resin.
Yeah.
And I've tried to pinpoint, is it one certain resin? Is it UV resin? And it just all of a sudden I'll have a flare up.
Well, I think sometimes it can be the build-up of multiple projects as well. So one thing I've noticed, I'm presuming you do a lot of yours indoors as well, the same as me.
Yeah.
If I do like 6 projects in a row in a day, and I haven't had that on, the VOCs in the air are about 10, which is quite high. But if as soon as I switch it on, they go. But that's what I found. If I do one project, they never get above maybe 2 or 3. So that tells me if I'm doing multiple projects, it lets more stuff into the air. And actually, that could be part of it. I don't know. And then obviously, if there's a lot, you might get that build up.
It's usually the days that I've done like 2 or 3 resin projects on the same day in this, like back to back.
Yeah. So there you go. That might be something to do with it, the build up in the air. Because even if you use a respirator, you're going to take it off at certain points. It's like if I'm doing a bloom, I'm not going to sit there for 30 minutes for the resin to get to temperature, then do my bit with my I'll always have my respirator on usually for that. But then I'm not going to wait another 3 hours sat there in a respirator before it cures up enough to put it back on. So this is where, again, even if you're sensible, I think they're a great idea. And actually, I'm going to be doing some more testing on it this week. With I've got myself a special scientific VOC reader so that I can test how effective they are. So that'll be an interesting experiment.
Yes.
Lula's saying, "Are you a self-taught painter?"
I am.
You are. Yep. Okay. And how do you learn? Is it just literally you get an idea and you think, how am I going to create that?
I started watching a few artists that were painting, and I'm like, oh, so that's not like drawing. I can do that.
Yeah.
So I'd watch it again, and then I'd say, well, this one looks fairly easy. I'll try this one.
Yeah.
And I did it, and my granddaughter that was living with us at the time, she was, if you need a critic, she will tell you. She's like, do you want me to be honest? I said, absolutely.
I love the honesty from kids.
And she's like, that one looks cartoonish. I said, okay, what makes it look cartoonish? And she would point it out. Yeah. So I would go back down and I would keep painting, and she'd come up and she's like, it's perfect.
Yeah.
So between her giving me the constructive criticism and just over and over, I mean, for 2 years, I painted every single day. This last year is the least that I've painted in the last 4 years because I've been doing resin. And I'm antsy to get back to my easel.
I want to try painting. Now, again, the only painting I've done is I used to do, we call it Games Workshop in the UK. I don't know if you've got it in the States, but they're basically little figurines that you could battle with. Basically, you could have a big battle, some different armies, and there was skeletons, there was orcs, there was all sorts of weird and wonderful things. And when I was a kid, I used to be amazing at painting the detail on. I was one of those, I suppose you'd call it a nerd or wonderfully weird. I would have one of those magnifying glasses and a tiny little brush, and I'd be painting the little details in like that. And I was amazing at that, but I've never actually tried proper painting on a canvas. So I think that's something I want to learn over the next few years. So I might be watching more of your painting videos.
It's a lot easier than people think. I actually do like paint parties.
Okay.
Where get up and teach the whole class. So the first time that I had got asked to do it was by our local library.
Yeah.
And my first class was 12 students.
Okay.
And I didn't know if I could teach. I wasn't even doing, resin videos or anything back then.
Yeah.
So I said to my daughter, I says, get your friend and come over. I said, and I'm going to set my studio up like it's a classroom, and I'm going to pretend that I don't know you.
Yeah.
And we're going to paint. And she's like, okay, but you got to make it an easy painting, Mom. And I'm like, it is. So I picked this painting, and my daughter's like, Ma, there's no way I can paint this. I'm like, Jenny, you can paint this. I'm telling you, you can do it.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't. I said, you just come over here and you're going to leave with a beautiful painting. So her and a friend came over, and she was totally blown away on how easy it is. So she has actually started painting on her own, because she comes with me to all my paint parties. She helps me set up and, tear down, and then she paints for free because she doesn't want money. So she now is painting on her own and is doing fantastic. So
you just got to try, haven't you? And then you keep getting better.
And the more you do it, and you've just got to learn that you've got to make sure that you have enough dark and enough light.
Yeah.
To give that depth more so than the actual figure shape. Your colors, your lights and darks are more important.
Okay, well, I'll say that's it. Just a massive thank you as well, because I've had a couple of super chats in this chat. So I've had a super chat from Sherry at Sacred Spacecrafts. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. And then there was another one that came through as well from Cheryl Masters. So thank you very much. You don't need to do that. The option's there, but I just love doing these chats to get to know the community, get to know the creators, that's what it's all about for me. And we do them every Tuesday. So last warning though, for any questions in chat. And I think Adele has asked if I'm on about Warhammer when I said Games Workshop, and it is Warhammer basically. So I don't know if you might have heard of that in the States.
No, I haven't.
No,
that doesn't mean it's not here, but
it's just basically little armies. So my army used to be an undead army, so it was all like skeletons, vampires, and things like that. And then that would battle against maybe an orc army or something like that. So it's almost like Lord of the Rings, but in figurines.
Okay. Yep.
And again, that's something I'm going to go weirdly, even though I'm an adult now. I want to get another pack of those, and I'm going to do them and put them in resin as a diorama, almost like they're having a battle.
Oh, that would be cool.
It will take a long time, though, so don't expect that project next week, guys. That'll take a long time. Luna's saying she loves their 3D printers. She's done some amazing things with those 3D printers. Again, I think I need to look at possibly getting a 3D printer. But again,
I know. I've been thinking about that too, but I'm like, I don't know if I got room for it.
Yeah, and then Daniel Cooper started with laser projects, and I'm like, oh, I need a laser as well.
I have one, but I really don't know how to use it yet.
Yeah.
It's sitting on top of my freezer out in my other room.
Really? I think the thing that confuses me, and I need to do a lot of research before I buy anything, but I think there's like 3 different types of lasers that give you 3 different effects that can do different materials.
Yes. Yeah. I got one, but I was doing a lot of painting when I purchased it, and it puts a lot of smoke, and I don't have a way to get the smoke out of my room.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'll have to wait until spring and do it outside. And now it's just such a pain to take it down, bring it out, set it up, have to tear it down, bring it. So yeah, it sits there collecting dust.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
I know that they're getting better as well. So some of the lasers that came out, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, I know that they were really bad with the fumes that they let off. And I know there's some now where you can actually get like a ventilation box that attaches to it, and it takes all of the fumes out. I've seen those now. But again, I think they cost a lot of money at the minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'd rather spend it on resin at the moment.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But no, any other questions from anybody in chat? Because we've gone well over the hour now. last warning. Oh, Lula's saying they've got an extractor for their printer, for the resin printer.
Oh, okay. So those put off a fume too, probably?
Yeah, I think they do, because the resin, what they use, I think it creates like little fumes that come off. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just having a look. But no, I don't think we've got any more questions. So there we go. I think that's it for this live. But again, just want to say a massive thank you, Michelle. It's been great meeting you as well.
Same here. Thank you for having me on.
Anytime. And again, if anybody out there ever wants to come on a live, I'm fully booked now up until September, which is amazing. So thank you, everybody that's booked onto a live. But all you need to do is email me, and the new channel email address is customcarvingandepocsyuk@outlook.com. So that's simple, hopefully. And usually I'll get back to you in the same week and say, look, this is where we're booked up until. Are you free the next week after that? And then hopefully Michelle will agree. It's not too daunting. We just have a chat.
Yeah. I was a little nervous when I first got on, and my nerves went away right away.
Well, Tim's saying he'll come back anytime. I think what we need to do, Tim, is schedule your next one in at your next big milestone. That'll be fun. And one idea I've had, and I don't know what everybody thinks about this, but I want these lives to happen every week forever. And I'm thinking it would be great to see where the channels are from when they've come on to 12 months later, and inviting everybody on exactly a year after they've been on to do an update on where their channel's at.
That would be awesome.
Because I know that most of the channels we've had on, it's been amazing. And even though I can't watch every video, one of the things I do, and it's just because I'm nosy, I will look at everybody that's been on, where they were when they came on, and where they are now. And I think everybody's grown, it just makes me happy that I know that I'm introducing people to new channels, and we can all follow each other.
Exactly.
Petra's saying that's a good idea as well.
Yeah, I've actually started following a couple other channels because of these shows that you do.
Yeah. That's true as well, Nicole from Blue Elephant Gifts. It is good to do a couple at the same time as well. So I know sometimes we have two guests on at once and things like that. It just depends how we work out the schedule. But again, that might be an idea with them getting more popular over the next few months, maybe booking two different guests on at once as well for every live. Who knows? Because again, I don't really like saying to people, yes, I'll have you on the show, but it's going to be in 3 months' time. It's a long way away.
Yeah.
But no, definitely. If anybody's got any ideas on that as well, by all means, feel free to email me. You're free to. These are your lives as well as mine. They're on my channel because I first started them, but they're the community's lives. So if you've got any ideas of what you want us to do on these lives, maybe you've got better ideas on how we can make them better, I'm open to suggestions. I can't promise we'll do every suggestion, because knowing the chat that happens, sometimes there's a bit of strange suggestions, but we're open to it. I'm open to ideas to make them better for you each and every week. And it's great getting to know everybody. Even those that don't have a YouTube channel sometimes come into these lives, which is amazing as well, because I think we all get to know each other as people. And that's what this whole community is about for me. It's about helping each other out. It's about helping each other grow. It's about giving each other tips if we can on how to do things. And that's what makes it amazing. So Petra's saying more artists together as well. So I'm actually considering as well, not yet, because it does cost quite a bit of money, upgrading my StreamYard package so that I can have up to 6 guests on at once. But at the minute, I'm not doing that because it's sort of triple the price. But I am going to do that at some point. So that way we can get more people on at once.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And I think it would also be cool if we can stream it to multiple platforms at once as well, which I can do with an upgraded version. So I know there's a big community on like TikTok. There's a big community on Instagram. They're not always on YouTube, but that way it could help us all grow even more together. But again, that's the $50 a month package, I think, that you can do that on. So I'm weighing it up. I'm not there yet, but again, if there's any resin companies that want to support these lives, if you want to sponsor them, we can upgrade that software. We can have you as a sponsor on the channel as well. Free marketing for you. So that's an idea. If there's any resin companies that watch this back,
that would be an awesome.
Because I think that would not only help their brand, but it would help us all grow because we'd share it on more platforms at once.
Exactly. Yeah.
Again, I'm always thinking of ways to try and grow it for us all. So I want you to all to know that they won't all work, but some of the ideas will.
Yeah.
Oh, Terry saying hello, 2 of her favorite YouTube channels. Hi, Terry. Nice to see you. And again, whilst Terry's here as well, thank you, because you sent me an Resin order as a surprise mail or the other day, and I still haven't made anything with it yet, but I've had a great idea. So you'll get mentioned in that video, Terry.
I know. Happy Mail, isn't that the greatest?
It was only my second ever Happy Mail as well. So I was over the moon. Paula, I think, who was in chat earlier, Paula Harper, she sent me some Happy Mail. I've used some of it, but I've still got other things to use in that as well. And I think the great thing for me is you never know what you're going to get. And you're like, you've got to think, what am I going to do with this to make it look good?
Yeah. It's like Christmas.
Yeah. It's great. But no, appreciate everyone being here. Appreciate the whole community. And thank you all for being here as well. And we'll be here the same time next week. And next week, we've got Deezy from Deezy Jewelry, who specializes in making lots of different jewelry bits and bobs as well. So that'll be exciting. Then we've got Butch from Butcher's Creations. Another man, 2 men on the screen. How's that going to work? And then we've got the 2 Petras the week after. So we've got a really fun month coming up. So 8 p.m. UK time. What time is 8 p.m. where you are in the States?
3 p.m.
When we start, 2 p.m. I know it's either 2 or 3 p.m. depending on where you are in the States. Yeah. So no, thanks a lot, everyone. Make sure you follow Michelle's channel. And if you've not subscribed to me, by all means, subscribe to me and look at the playlist at all the other channels we've had on. Subscribe to all of them. You know, they're all great artists. We all do different things, and it's great to grow together. But we'll see you all next week. And thanks for being on, Michelle.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for being here.